Hey Crosskart fans. Alright, so the last big obstacle before we can just finish this up for paint is the firewall. It is required by the rulebook to have a separation between the engine and the driver. Now I've been dreading this, but I figured out something that's making me not dread it so much. This doesn't have to be one piece. We can break this up into two different panels. I don't want to do more than two because that's just more mounts. But I am just going to go up to the bar because this is the stuff, I mean, you're not going to have anything blow out in the carburetors. And if it does, it's going to blow up into the radiator. Radiator is going to drip straight down. We're not in danger. So I don't want to take it all the way up. So I'm just going to get some cardboard and just knock it out. The pipes, the exhaust header, comes out a little past these bars, which makes that kind of difficult. But again, we don't necessarily have to go all the way to the floor either. I'd say just maybe midway down these pipes. Let's get the cardboard and get to work. Alright, so we've got our two pieces of cardboard and I have minimal bends in these. Right now I'm struggling between if I'm going to use 1 mil or 2 millimeter aluminum sheet. If I cut into my 2 millimeter, I'm going to have to buy another sheet. Obviously 2 millimeter is going to be safer, but the Crosskart guys make these out of fiberglass. So I'm pretty sure 1 millimeter aluminum is stronger than thin, flexible fiberglass. So I have the templates. I'm going to cut the 1 mil now, and I can always make it out of 2 millimeter later if I need to. Now, an important thing to note is that since this bend is here to help fit this around the harness bar, they have to match. If you're going to stack them like this, they have to match. And I'm also trying to decide whether this is going to be on the bottom or the top, like how they're going to overlap. That overlap is right at the exhaust here. So the two trains of thought is if the bottom one is on top, you could possibly get cooling airflow around your seat to keep that exhaust heat off your back. Now this is going to be aluminum, so it should dissipate that heat a lot. But from my experience, your lower back gets a little warm after driving these for a little bit, which is fine. It doesn't burn you, it just gets warm. Yeah, the duct going underneath is going to help dissipate that heat just from the engine compartment. So I kind of like that this is open, and as you can see, you're still getting full protection. And plus, there's a racing seat in here that's got 1/4 inch thick fiberglass on it. So you're plenty protected with this. If the cylinder blows right out the top, which normally they blow out from the bottom anyway, so there's a lot of metal to go through for a piston to blow out through the top. Normally it breaks a connecting rod and it blows out the side of your oil pan, so we're protected anyway. I'm guessing this could be maybe for fire more than anything. Alright, so the initial fit up went pretty well. I've got gaps, but they're kind of exactly where I want them, because all I have to do is trim the sides and that'll pull that towards there. Now I'm going to take it off just a little at a time because I want this air gap here, because the air coming this way is going to shoot right down this panel over the exhaust and take the heat away from the engine compartment, just get it all right out the back. So this two-piece setup turned out to be really awesome. And the gap between the aluminum protective panel and the exhaust is 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, which is exactly where I want it. I want to maximize the room for the seat without sitting right up against the pipes. This was a definite win. Now for this panel, what I did was I just measured the width of the header coming down, centered it out on the piece, and made my bends off of that. Now the last thing to do is obviously put in your seat, make sure your clearances are all checked out. This is in the furthest back, furthest tilted position that I can get on the seat. The two-piece behind the seat does not show, but all this air is going to get scooped in right here, flow down over the exhaust, and right out the back. It's going to work out fantastically. When I first did it, it looked awful. The two-piece with the split looked terrible, but the seat covers it up, so now I like it because it's super functional. And there you have it. One Firewall mounted with vents to expel that hot air out of the back. Fit up nicely. You can see the gap. Perfect. All this aluminum is going to soak up all that heat, and all this cooling air from those little vents is going to keep the aluminum cool. So it works out all around. And like I said, it looks terrible like this. It looks kind of cobbled being two pieces like that. But with the seat in, it just hides all of that. And it's just super functional. Well, Crosskart fans, that's it for this one. I am going to continue working, finishing up stuff, welding, final welding on the tabs. I've got some more accents I'm going to put on here. But this is done. These are all the steps you need to build one of these. The rest is just making it yours. All the little accents, the body panels, stuff like this little Baja brow. I don't know if I'm going to use this or not, but I've got some scrap aluminum. So I'm going to play with some stuff to see what I like. But yeah, this is officially ready to go to paint. So I am going to take maybe a day, maybe two, to just look over it, make sure everything's great, send it off to powder coat. So it may be a little bit before I put out another video. The test drive went well, and I didn't replace any of the bearings on the wheels or anywhere. So I was going to do all that while it was at powder coat. So I don't want to drive it too much without refurbishing all of the bearings and the tie rod ends, and just making sure everything's tight. Because that's what will break one of these, is a component going bad and it's stressing out the rest of your buggy. Now these are ATV parts, the majority of them, so they're easy to source parts. You can get aftermarket bearings, you can get sealed dust protection bearings. You can go as crazy as you want, but I highly recommend rebuilding all your components, just getting a fresh start, because once you start driving this, you're not going to want to take it back apart, especially after you've spent 3 months building the doggone thing. The big surprise I got coming up, I can't give it away yet. I want to so badly, but it's pretty good. It's going to spell out an even bigger reason that this is called a VF-1, or a variable frame cart. So, see you guys in a while. Thanks for watching.